Jumbo! Welcome to world-famous Lion Country Safari, America's first drive-through wildlife preserve. Lion Country Safari is proud to be accredited by the American Zoo and Aquarium Association. Proof positive, we are dedicated to the highest standards in animal care, education, ethics, and conservation. As you approach the entrance, please be aware of some very important safari rules. The animals here are not tame. They are wild animals, so the most important rule is to keep your windows up and your doors locked at all times. No feeding of any animals in the preserve is permitted. Please respect the home and health of our animals. Do not throw trash or cigarette butts out of your window or on the ground anywhere in the drive-through preserve or the walk-through safari world. Place trash and recyclable items in the correct containers. For the safety of the animals that live here, please drive slowly, about 8 miles per hour, and take your time to watch the animals and to fully enjoy your Lion Country Safari experience. If you wish to stop to observe the animals, please pull to the right side to form 2 lanes of traffic. You are now entering Las Pampas, named for the grasslands of South America. In this preserve, you will find a wonderful variety of animals. Most are from South America. Watch out for the Aldabra tortoises. Those aren't just big boulders you see in the grass. They are the largest species of land tortoise in the world today. They often reach weights of 500 pounds and can have shells 5 feet in length. They are also very long-lived animals, living 150 years or more. These gentle giants come from the island of Aldabra, which is off the coast of Madagascar in the Indian Ocean. Rheas are the 4th largest species of birds in the world today. Known as the ostriches of the New World, rheas are incapable of flight. They inhabit the grasslands of South America and feed on a wide variety of plant species. An interesting feature about them is that the males alone incubate the eggs and raise the offspring. Although they are plentiful in captivity, wild populations of rheas have declined significantly due to hunting and loss of habitat. The brown pelicans are an endangered species found along the coastal areas of North and South America and are a familiar sight here in Florida. With permission of the U.S. Fish and Wildlife Service, Lion Country Safari offers a safe haven for these individuals that have sustained wing injuries in the wild and cannot be released back to their natural habitat. Wild pelicans are at considerable risk of becoming entangled in carelessly discarded fishing line. Please fish responsibly and do your part to properly dispose of trash. The Brazilian tapir is an odd-looking mammal native to the forests of South America. At first glance, it looks much like an enormous brown pig with a body shape that makes them well-suited for quick movements through thick underbrush. Their elongated upper lip and nose forms a movable proboscis similar to an elephant's trunk. As herbivores, tapirs feed largely on vegetation and fruit. They are excellent swimmers and spend a good deal of time in the water. Another mammal that shares this preserve with the tapir is the llama. Domesticated from wild guanacos more than 4,000 years ago, llamas are still used today as beasts of burden in the Andes Mountains of South America. They are also farmed for meat and milk, and for their long, coarse wool, which is used. You have now entered Raha National Park. This unspoiled African wilderness is known for its variety of wildlife. The greater kudu is one of the most beautiful species of antelope in the world. Native to the bushlands and woodlands of central and southern Africa, kudus are browsers that eat the leaves and shoots from a variety of plants. Males are known for their spectacular spiraling horns, which can grow as long as 6 feet. These horns do not prevent kudus from getting around in the dense brush of their environment. They simply tilt their chins up, laying their horns flat against their backs, and then can move easily through the wooded habitat. You have probably noticed the ostrich in this section. Ostriches are the world's tallest living birds. They are quite inquisitive by nature and will investigate new items by pecking at them. We will see more of them when we reach the Serengeti Plains. The Udad or Barbary sheep are very hardy animals found mainly in the rough, rocky, arid country of northern Africa. They are recognized by their tan-colored coat and large horns, which sweep in a wide semicircle away from the head. The horns are present in both males and females. Udad have an extraordinary ability to go without drinking water for long periods of time if necessary, obtaining all the moisture they need from the vegetation they eat. When water is available, they will drink heartily, bathe, and wallow in the mud. In their natural African habitat, Udad are hunted excessively, and the complete extermination of them from their natural range is only a matter of time. The medium-sized antelope in this section are Impala. These graceful animals are so adaptable that they are found from southern Africa to the northern limits of East Africa. In the wild, Impalas are found at grassland and woodland edges, usually close to water. Impala weigh from 100 to 150 pounds and range from 28 to 36 inches tall. Females are similar to males except they do not have horns. The male's graceful lyre-shaped horns are 18 to 37 inches long. Now, see if you can find the water buck. These large, shaggy brown antelope are most easily recognized from behind by the target-like white circles that decorate their rumps. All of the water buck in this section are male. How can you tell? The males have horns, females do not. The male's horns are quite long and are gently curved inward and forward in a lyre shape. They have a strong musky scent which is given off by their oily hair. The water buck move in small herds in grassy or lightly wooded areas of Central Africa. They are the most water-dependent of all antelope species and so are never found far from the edge of a marsh or river. We will see more of these interesting animals in the Serengeti Plains. You should now be approaching the gates to the Kalahari Bushfield, where you will find two rare species of antelope native to Africa. If you have not yet reached the gates, please stop this recording now and restart it when you have reached the other side. The preserve you have just entered, the Gir Forest, is named for the famous wildlife sanctuary found in western India. Its inhabitants include blackbuck, Nilgai, and Asiatic water buffalo. These animals have a large territory in which to roam, so please be sure to look carefully around as you drive slowly through. That movement in the bushes you mistake for a gust of wind could very well be, if you look closer, a concealed animal. Remember, please drive very slowly. You will soon be passing through the gates to the Gorongosa Preserve, but you will return to further explore the Gir Forest in just a few minutes. You will probably notice an employee in a zebra-striped vehicle up ahead of you. They are there for your protection and for the protection of the animals in the surrounding preserve, in case they try to wander into the domain of His Majesty, the lion. Yes, there are lions ahead. Please be sure that your windows and doors remain closed at all times. Lions can explode from a standing start and cover 100 yards in a matter of seconds. As peaceful as they may look, please don't tempt them to display their incredible power. If you have not yet reached the gates, stop this recording now and restart it when you reach the other side. There are a few things you should know about lions. For instance, they are not jungle creatures. In Africa, they are usually found in open bush country or on the grassy plains called savannas. They sleep as much as 20 hours each day. Here at Lion Country Safari, you will often find them resting peacefully in the shade during the heat of the day. If you do stop to watch the antics of the lions or to take pictures, please pull over to the side of the road and make certain that you are not blocking anyone wishing to pass. What can be better than waking up to the sound of a lion's roar? You can if you stay at our award-winning Koa Campground. Amenities include a swimming pool, covered pavilion, volleyball and basketball courts, horseshoe pits, and shuffleboard. We have sites for RVs and tents, plus some cabins available to rent. For pricing information, stop by our main office or visit our website, www.lioncountrysafari.com. Hey folks, why not try something wild for your next birthday? Celebrate safari style with the true party animals here at Lion Country Safari. We offer special rates for birthday parties of 10 or more, with specially prepared lunches, souvenirs, and ice cream for everyone. You'll have a roaring good time. For more details, stop by the main office today or else check our website. Remember to watch carefully for the rest of the animals here in the Gir Forest. Parts of this preserve are quite heavily wooded, and the animals here may well be hiding in plain sight. The Kulin, also called Mongolian wild asses, are native to Mongolia and northern China. These sandy-colored animals blend in well in their flat, arid, native environment where they feed on grasses and succulent plants. They are one of the fastest members of the horse family and are capable of reaching a maximum speed of 45 miles per hour and of sustaining a steady pace of 30 miles per hour. Kulin typically migrate long distances, following the best feeding and watering grounds as the seasons change. Herd structures may vary from small family groups to all-male bachelor groups, or may contain 100 or more individuals of both sexes. Mature males will fight each other viciously for the right to mate, using their teeth and hooves as formidable weapons. The larger of the two species of Indian antelope you will see here are the Nilgai, which can weigh up to 550 pounds. Adult breeding males have short, straight horns and are nicknamed blue bulls because of the slate-gray color of their coats. Females and juveniles are brown in color and do not have horns, but both sexes can easily be identified by two white spots on each cheek and what look like black and white striped socks at their ankles. Nilgai are mainly diurnal, which means they are active during the daylight hours. Breeding males will not tolerate other rival males, and they will often compete with one another using threatening posture displays and neck wrestling matches. Being a prey species of lions, leopards, tigers, and hyenas, Nilgai have very keen senses of hearing and eyesight to help them sense approaching danger. When startled, they can run away at speeds of almost 30 miles per hour and will often head to the water to aid their escape. Unfortunately, like many other species throughout India, wild populations of these beautiful animals have drastically declined due to overhunting and loss of habitat. The smaller of the two species of Indian antelope you will find in this preserve are called black buck. They stand just 2.5 feet tall and are named for the dark color of the coat of the mature breeding male, hence black buck. They have white bellies and prominent white circles under their eyes. The male's straight ringed horns twist 3 or 4 times and are about 2 feet in length. The females do not have horns and are light brown in color, but have the same white bellies and white circles under their eyes that the males do. Noted for their speed, black buck can easily outdistance greyhound dogs and are able to clear high fences from a standing jump. That unique springing behavior you may see is called pronking. The black buck will leap straight up into the air and land on all 4 feet at once. This behavior may be associated with play, or it may serve to alert the rest of the herd to danger, or to notify potential predators that they have been seen and not to bother pursuing. In India, these beautiful little antelope have been overhunted so extensively that they are now in danger of becoming extinct. Perhaps the most impressive inhabitants of the Gir Forest are the Asiatic water buffaloes. They are normally found in swampy areas of India and Southeast Asia, and in this preserve you will likely find them partially submerged in one of the large lakes or canals. These large and sometimes aggressive animals can weigh as much as a ton and have huge crescent-shaped horns which curve back over their shoulders. Their broad hooves are well adapted to distribute their weight over a large surface so they don't sink into the mud. They commonly feed on jungle grasses and aquatic plants, but their diets are also supplemented here at Lion Country Safari with hay and grain. Truly wild Asiatic water buffalo are very rare, but this species has been widely domesticated, and there are millions of them currently living throughout the world. Gestation lasts approximately 10 months, and one calf is typically born at a time. They will nurse for 6 to 9 months and do not reach maturity until 2 years of age. If you are enjoying your visit here today, consider purchasing an annual pass which will entitle you to free admission to Lion Country Safari every day for an entire year at no additional cost. Or how about a VIP tour? For a behind-the-scenes look at Lion Country Safari and to get up close and personal with the wild critters of your choice, this is definitely the way to go. Annual pass holders receive a 10% discount on VIP tours, 20% discount at our restaurant and gift shops, and a 10% discount on the daily rates at our award-winning Koa Campground. Annual pass holders ages 6 to 13 also receive a special discount to Safari Day Camp. Don't miss out on your opportunity to save at Lion Country Safari as an annual pass holder. Stop by the guest services desk at the main office or the main retail shop for details. You will soon be nearing the next set of gates which will take you into the Serengeti Plains. This preserve is named for one of the best-known East African wildlife sanctuaries, where large herds of antelope dominate the landscape. If you have not yet reached the sign marked Serengeti Plains, please stop this recording now and restart it when you have reached that point. The animals of the Serengeti Plains have a large territory in which to roam, so please be sure to look carefully around as you drive slowly through. By now you have most likely seen the ostrich. These easily recognizable creatures are the world's largest flightless birds. Flightless because their wing muscles are not strong enough to support their weight. The adult males weigh as much as 350 pounds and can grow to a height of 8 feet. They can attain a running speed of up to 35 miles per hour, which is a good defense against most would-be predators. They are extremely strong and can be very aggressive, so keep your doors and windows closed and locked at all times. An ostrich can inflict severe injury with a swift kick of its powerful leg or even with its beak. Adult male ostriches can be distinguished by their black feathers, while the feathers of females and immature birds are a dull gray. Eggs are usually laid here at lion country between February and June. Be sure to keep a sharp eye out for the nests. These large ground nests may contain 30 or more eggs at a time. You won't be able to miss the eggs if they're around. Each one is about the size of a cantaloupe and weighs about 2 pounds. Although they are the largest eggs in the world, they are also the smallest egg in proportion to body size produced by any bird. If you're looking for a souvenir, ostrich eggs are seasonally available for sale at our main gift shop. Also found in this expansive preserve are a variety of hoofed animals called ungulates, which can be easily identified by the different shapes of their horns. By the way, do you know the difference between antlers and horns? Antlers, which are typical headgear of deer, are made of bone and are shed and regrown again every year. Horns, which are the headgear of antelope, sheep, goats, and cattle, have a bony core with an outer covering made up of keratin. That's the same protein that makes up your hair and fingernails. Horns are not shed annually and actually continue to grow throughout the animal's lifetime. Now I'll describe some of the different species to keep watch for as you continue your safari today. The eland is the largest of the African antelope species, with males reaching 6 feet at the shoulder and weighing 1,500 pounds. They have a thin orange-colored coat with a few vertical white stripes across the shoulders and sides. Both males and females have straight screw-like horns that are often 3 feet long. A flap of skin called a dewlap hangs down at the front of the neck and bears a tuft of hair on the end of it. They are found in small herds in the open habitats of East Africa. Eland are easily tamed and are farmed in some parts of Africa for meat and milk. Eland milk has triple the fat content and twice the protein of the milk from a dairy cow. Do you remember the water buck that we saw in Raha National Park? You should be able to spot more of these animals in this section. Remember that water buck have the white target-like markings on their rumps. If you look carefully, you can probably see males and females. The females have no horns, giving them a particularly gentle appearance. Female water buck will often attempt to conceal their newborn calves in thickets or tall grass for the first 2 to 4 weeks of life. Calves are very mobile shortly after birth, however, and often wander about on their own. An unusual-looking member of the antelope family is the wildebeest, also known as the gnu. They have a top-heavy appearance due to their muscular shoulders and thin legs. Their body fur is gray, marked by black stripes across the shoulders. Their horns curve out over their ears and turn sharply upward at the ends. There is a fringe of hair on their chest, and their faces are strongly whiskered. They appear to be a cross between a cow, a horse, and a mule, with a beard thrown in for good measure. They certainly are aggressive-looking beasts, but they go into antics when approached, dashing off and wheeling about to gaze at any intruders. In Africa, they are a favorite food source for the lion, and the young are frequently eaten by hyenas. In dry seasons, some herds migrate in tremendous numbers to reach water and fresh feeding grounds. Their reproduction is highly seasonal. All births within a herd occur mainly within a 2 to 3 week period. An unusual-looking member of the antelope family is the wildebeest, also known as the gnu. They have a top-heavy appearance due to their muscular shoulders and thin legs. Their body fur is gray, marked by black stripes across the shoulders. Their horns curve out over their ears and turn sharply upward at the ends. There is a fringe of hair on their chest, and their faces are strongly whiskered. They appear to be a cross between a cow, a horse, and a mule, with a beard thrown in for good measure. They certainly are aggressive-looking beasts, but they go into antics when approached, dashing off and wheeling about to gaze at any intruders. In Africa, they are a favorite food source for the lion, and the young are frequently eaten by hyenas. In dry seasons, some herds migrate in tremendous numbers to reach water and fresh feeding grounds. Their reproduction is highly seasonal. All births within a herd occur mainly within a 2 to 3 week period. The mouflon is thought to be one of the 2 original ancestors of all modern sheep breeds and are the smallest animals on display in this preserve. They are mostly brown in color with a light-colored saddle patch and have large, thick horns that encircle each side of the head. Mouflon originated on the Mediterranean islands of Corsica, Sardinia, and Cyprus, but have more recently been introduced into many parts of Europe. It is common for males, called rams, to live in bachelor groups as you see here, only mingling with the females, called ewes, during the mating season. The ram's dominance is generally determined by his age and the size of his horns. In late fall and early winter, the rams battle for possession of the ewes, crashing their horns together with tremendous force. Truly wild mouflon populations are declining due to habitat loss, hunting, and interbreeding with domestic sheep. Hey kids, are you mad about mammals? Do you rave about reptiles? Are you bonkers for birds? Then come spend some time with us this summer at Safari Day Camp. Each week-long adventure includes hands-on animal activities and behind-the-scenes tours, not to mention swimming, arts and crafts, paddle boating, water play area, group games, miniature golf, and much, much more. Your registration will include a Safari Day Camper t-shirt, cap, water bottle, and souvenir photo, plus all of your lunches, snacks, and craft supplies. You'll have a roaring good time. Ask for further information at the main office or check us out on the web at www.lioncountrysafari.com. You will soon be reaching the gates to the next preserve. In case you have not yet reached that point, stop this recording now and restart it when you have reached the sign marked Hwange National Park. Chimpanzees are native to tropical Africa and are very comfortable in the Florida subtropical habitat. You are likely to find them shaded in the large concrete culverts or under the climbing structures during the heat of the day. Lion Country Safari is proud to be an active participant in Chimpanzee, an observation program of chimpanzees in zoos and other wildlife facilities, headed by world-renowned chimp expert Dr. Jane Goodall. You may actually see some chimpanzee observers sitting quietly by the islands studying the chimps, but please remain in your car. Like our keepers, these observers have been trained to be safely and unobtrusively out of their vehicles. Lion Country Safari supports the observation of its chimpanzees because these studies lead to valuable understanding of chimpanzees in wildlife facilities. Chimpanzees are physically and genetically the animals most closely related to humans. We share over 98% of our DNA with them. Their intelligence is unsurpassed in the animal world, and they are capable of learning a variety of complicated tasks. They are diurnal and spend much of the day looking for food. At night, they build nests of vegetation to sleep in and will rebuild new ones each night. The strength of these animals is almost unbelievable. Pound for pound, they are roughly 8 times stronger than the average human being. A chimpanzee weighing 100 pounds can throw 300 pounds with one arm. In fact, because their muscles are so dense, their lung capacity is so small, and they have no subcutaneous fat, they cannot float or swim, so the water surrounding them keeps them safely on their islands. Wild chimps form loosely organized bands of individuals which will remain in a fairly large home range for many years at a time. The social structures of our island communities are quite similar to what you would find in Africa, and in this respect are unique among captive chimpanzee groups found throughout the world. Like human infants, chimpanzee babies are quite helpless when they are born, and for the first few months of life are held cradled in their mother's arms. They are weaned by the time they are about 4 years old, just in time for the mother to give birth to her next baby. Chimpanzees are renowned for their ability to manufacture and utilize their own tools, mostly as aids in collecting food. They are omnivorous, eating about 200 different kinds of leaves and fruit, as well as insects, honey, eggs, small birds, and mammals. By now you must have spotted the tallest of all animals, the giraffe. Reaching heights of up to 18 feet, they are the watchtowers of the tree-scattered African terrain in which they live. With a keen sense of smell and hearing and outstanding vision, they are well equipped to sense danger approaching. When a giraffe stops to stare, other animals would be wise to take note. Its long legs and neck and a 17-inch prehensile tongue allow the giraffe to reach the tender leaves of the tallest acacia trees. Look way up. You might be surprised to learn that despite the length of its neck, the giraffe has the same number of neck vertebrae as a much smaller human or even a tiny mouse. 7. Because its head is so far above its heart, it has special valves in its blood vessels to ensure that sufficient blood reaches all the way up to its brain. Both males and females have horn-like projections on their heads, but they are unlike those of any other mammal. They are made of bone and are covered with skin. The males use their horns when sparring amongst themselves, swinging their heads and long necks and striking their opponent from the side. Giraffes are remarkably graceful runners and can reach speeds of up to 35 miles per hour. They rarely lie down and usually sleep standing up. To drink, they must splay their front legs widely apart and stoop to the ground. When doing so, they are highly vulnerable to lions. If attacked, a giraffe will deliver severe blows with its feet and will often seriously injure its attacker. Calves are born after a 15-month gestation period, are 6 feet tall, and weigh about 140 pounds.